Okay guys, so this episode of Talking Points had to be put together a little quicker than usual, so bear with me here. As some of you may already know, this is Zoe Quinn. She developed a game called Depression Quest and received a lot of flack for it. For a while, the only thing you could find on YouTube, Kotaku, or any other gaming news outlet was articles and videos about the abuse she was suffering through at the hand of some particularly nasty trolls. Now, I've heard opinions that suggest these attacks were faked or used to gain free publicity for a game, but I don't know enough about the subject to chime in, and honestly, it's old news at this point. She is, however, at the center of a new string of controversies due to a post written by her ex-boyfriend accusing her of cheating on him with some pretty elite names in games development and journalism. And right off the bat, I have two things to say. First off, I'm not going to be touching on the moral implications of her cheating on her boyfriend. I don't think it's any of our business what she chooses to do in her own bedroom. However, it is the people she committed these acts with that warrants closer inspection. And second, this topic has gamers split right down the middle, so if you're planning on leaving a comment, please refrain from disrespecting me or each other. I invite an open discussion, but only if it's civil. It also seems like Zoe's been throwing a lot of content ID strikes against people, so I won't be showing the footage from the game Depression Quest. Instead, why don't you enjoy whatever random game I decide to put in here. Okay, now that's all out of the way, and I know what you're thinking. This isn't going to be a piece about the fall of games journalism, because let's be honest, just saying that would insinuate that it hasn't already burrowed itself deeper in the earth. Instead, I want to talk about something even more important, and that's fear. This story broke more than a week ago, and I had no idea. That's insane to me. I follow more than 10 game news channels on YouTube, and even more channels dedicated to game-related opinion pieces. So how is it that one of the biggest stories to hit gaming in the last year is something I had to be told about by a friend? Well, to quote one of my fellow multi-tappers, it's too toxic for anyone to touch. It seems like the big names in game-related news are too scared to say anything about a scandal that all but proves the massive levels of corruption running rampant in our very own brand of journalism. So I really have to ask, has political correctness gotten this out of control? I mean, are we expected to disregard this mammoth story just because it involves a woman being shown in a negative light? Or is it because she went through so much hell with the development of her game? I know these sound like rhetorical questions, but I'm honestly asking your opinion because I just don't know. Of course, on the opposite side of the coin, my Twitter feed's blowing up with game devs and reporters asking us to just leave Zoe alone. No one's denying these allegations to my knowledge, they're just asking us to stop talking about them. Guys, we can't let political correctness get this out of control. Our news outlets are effectively silencing one of the biggest deals in recent memory. If these claims are true, then Zoe may be guilty of sleeping with people to not only get her games published, but also for glowing reviews of them. And we're being knowingly kept in the dark by an industry that's scared of its own damn shadow. Listen, I hope I'm not offending anyone here when I say women are indeed capable of doing bad shit, and so are people who've went through trauma or heartache. Examining Zoe's case is not in itself a hateful act and an insult to women gamers. It's a necessity for an industry that's drooling at the mouth for the same credibility as other forms of media. And it's not just big news outlets keeping well out of reach of this subject. Smaller YouTube channels are also keeping their mouths shut. For example, I'm a big fan of Rich from Review Tech USA, and so far he said that he will not be covering this story or giving his opinions on it. And this is a guy who reported on a teenager who attacked and tried to rape his mother for taking away his Call of Duty game. The fact that a woman may have slept her way to gaming fame is deemed more offensive than the act of incestual rape committed by a minor. Jesus fucking Christ. Listen guys, I'm not trying to damn women in gaming. After all, my wife has logged more hours in console RPGs than most people I know, and I get enraged at the thought of people in the gaming scene treating her poorly because she's a woman. What I really want is for you to research this subject and come to your own conclusion. Find someone you trust and get the facts from them, and then speak your mind. Let people know that this kind of shit isn't okay. Let them know that you aren't going to line the pockets of reviewers who sleep with game creators, or developers who greenlight games based on sexual favors. Let them know that this is an important story and you deserve to hear about it. More than anything, stories like this let me know whose pieces I can trust, and honestly, that is made of primarily my fellow small-time YouTube game reviewers. As a matter of fact, this is a message specifically aimed at you, the struggling YouTube content creator. Don't sacrifice your own integrity for a safe position and a large view count. Please continue speaking your minds because you are some of the only shining lights left in this industry. No one really knows who they can trust anymore. I mean, you have machinima partners who are getting paid under the table to plug Xbox Ones, and there's Jeff Keighley who, he's Jeff Keighley, look at him. The point is, you are quickly becoming a last bastion for pure, trustworthy gaming journalism, so please, keep it up. Well guys, I think I've babbled enough for today, but thanks for watching another episode of Talking Points. If you have any opinions on this scandal, feel free to drop some knowledge on me in the comment section, and while you're here you can check out some of my other Talking Points videos, or maybe even subscribe to my channel. Or don't, I'm not the boss of you. Am I? Go get me a drink. No, I guess not.